Diluting stock solutions. In this video, you will learn why stock solutions are used and how to dilute a high concentration stock solution to working concentration. Concentrated stock solutions are used for several reasons. It is easier to dilute a concentrated stock solution instead of preparing a new solution for multiple reagents every time. Concentrated stock solutions take up less space in the lab. And concentrated stock solutions are usually more stable in long-term storage compared to working solutions. The concentration of a working solution is referred to as 1x. Therefore, a 20x stock solution is 20 times more concentrated than the normal working concentration. Dilute a 20x sodium borate stock solution to make 500 milliliters of a 1x sodium borate buffer. How much of the 20x stock is used? To do this lab math problem, use the equation C1V1 equals C2V2. C stands for the concentration of the solution, and V is the volume of a solution. The left side of the equation is a working solution, and the right side is a stock solution. Begin by identifying the variables for the specific problem. We have an initial volume of 20x concentrated stock solution. We want the final working solution to be 1x. We want to make 500 milliliters total of the final solution. So the only variable that is missing is the amount of the 20x stock solution to use. Rearrange the formula using simple algebra to solve for V2. Then, fill in the variables with the values. And solve. Start by canceling out the units, then the zeros. Divide 50 by 2 to reach the final answer that V2 is equal to 25 milliliters. So, 25 milliliters of the 20x sodium borate stock solution is used to make 500 milliliters of 1x working solution. The amount of deionized water also needs to be determined. Solve this by subtracting the value of V2 from the V1. 500 milliliters minus 25 milliliters is 475 milliliters. 475 milliliters of deionized water is needed to make a total of 500 milliliters of 1x sodium borate buffer. This same basic formula of C1V1 is equal to C2V2 can be used for diluting any concentrated stock solution to a 1x working solution. To show another example, make 1,500 milliliters of 1x TAE buffer from a 50x TAE stock solution. Fill in the variables like before and begin to cancel out the units. Then cancel the zeros. 150 divided by 5 is 30. To make 1,500 milliliters of 1x TAE buffer, use 30 milliliters of 50x TAE buffer with 1,470 milliliters of deionized water. Before diluting the buffer, make sure to protect yourself from any accidents or spills. Wear gloves, a fully buttoned down lab coat, goggles, your hair up, and closed-toed shoes. When mixing two different liquids, measure the liquids separately and combine into one storage bottle. Remember to use the appropriate measuring devices for each liquid. Always choose a measuring device that is closest to the desired volume. Measure out 475 milliliters of deionized water into a 500 milliliter graduated cylinder. View the water at eye level to ensure that the water is at the 475 milliliter mark. Next, measure out 25 milliliters of the stock 20x sodium borate buffer with a 25 milliliter graduated cylinder. Look for the smile. That curve or smile is called the meniscus. The lowest part of the curve, or meniscus, is the level of the liquid used to measure. Look for the base of the meniscus to reach the 25 milliliter mark. A pipette controller with a measuring or serological pipette could also be used to measure 25 milliliters of the 20x stock solution. Pour the 25 milliliters of the 20x sodium borate buffer and 475 milliliters of deionized water into a labeled 500 milliliter storage bottle. Cap tightly and invert the bottle a few times to mix completely. You now have 500 milliliters of 1x sodium borate buffer.